Hey everyone, it's Samantha, and today I wanted to show you how I tone my clients' hair using Shades EQ Gloss with an applicator bottle at the bowl. And I wanted to show you what her regrowth looks like. And obviously, here's the after with all the foils. I gave her a heavy full weave with very, very thin slicing to give her a maximum impact. And when I like to tone my clients, I will brush them out and get them sectioned for where they naturally part their hair. And as you can see here, I apply the toner gloss at the roots first with small 1/4 inch subsections, saturating the roots and moving from one side and then on to the next side. And then from the sides, I then move to the back. I usually do that first before I pull through the ends of my client's hair. But obviously, if you have a client and they do have an area that was a little bit more of a struggle to lift, then definitely tone that first so it could sit the longest. But I usually like to do the roots first because I feel even if the roots get toned a little bit more than what I need, it kind of has a soft transition. So I like to let the roots marinate a little bit longer before I pull it through. So that's why I tend to do it first, because by the time I get all the roots on my client and decide to pull through her ends, the roots have already sat for at least a minute or so. And as you can see here, I like to make sure everything is saturated, and I go back through and I double check, and then I will move on to the back. Ready to boost your profits behind the chair? Visit awealthyhairstylist.com. Another thing I like to do is obviously make sure their hairline is saturated as well, because you don't want, and that's what I do, I squeeze the color in my hands and I rub it along the neckline, because you want to make sure obviously those foils underneath are saturated too, because you don't want everything on top to be toned and then they have this raw lift underneath. And for my client, her toner today, I did Shades EQ 9V and 10P with a little dash of 9T. And I did that to kind of help ice her out, keep her cool. And I definitely watch this as the color moves because I feel shades can grab a little quickly and it can seem a little scary, but you need to be patient with the process. My client will usually sit anywhere from, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes. But the biggest thing I like to pay attention to is the lightest pieces of the hair. So I look for the lighter pieces, and once those start to shift and look a little gray, I know it might seem scary, but don't panic. Usually once it gets to that gray mode, I will let it process for like a minute longer, and then I will rinse it out because I want to make sure everything is going to stay cool and last for a long time. So I like to watch this process and make sure everything moves when I want it to move, and I wash the client when I feel the color is done right. But yeah, so here's her color as it's processing. You can see it starts to change. And this is going to be my client's after. And I added 2 rows of 18-inch extensions to help give her fullness and length to her current hair. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more of this content.